Hi guys and welcome to my DragCon UK 2023 Storytime video. Yes, that's right, we're here to dish the tea, spill the tea and get all the goss and everything about DragCon UK 2023. Was it a shit show? Was it brilliant? Was it fabulous? Was it worth it? We're going to discuss that today and find out. Yes, this is a sort of video essay, but it's also kind of a video diary of me, my experiences, obviously, because, you know, I was there. This is what I experienced, how I felt afterwards, how I felt during, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I'm excited to get into it. But if you haven't seen the merch haul unboxing, which I did last week, go check that out. I mean, I've got all the merch, all the things, super cute. And the vlogs are there as well, part 1, 2 and 3, if you want to go see, because you get a bit more sort of like, you can see bits that I'm going to be talking about that happen in the vlog, and then this is more of like a deeper dive insight into the full experience of the convention. If you were there, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you agree? How was your experience? That sort of stuff. But yeah, we're going to go through a lot of things today. I made some notes. Y'all know I don't make many notes on these videos. I did for the hints and tips video. And here we are, we're going to be talking about the venue, we're going to be talking about the VIP, the money, the price, the main stage, the after show, highlight queens, meet and greets, that sort of thing, the queues, other things like food from the venue, just different things. It's going to be a lot to unpack in this video. So without further ado, let's just start straight away with the venue, which was the XL in London. Now, it looked decent, it was a decent size, that kind of thing. Let me just start with the entrance was on the west side and our hotel, the Premier Inn, was at the east side, and I thought the entrance was there and I was like, oh, this is great. No, so we had to walk every day in my full outfits and back, obviously at the end, to through the full inside, which was like N11 all the way up to N1, which wasn't dreadful, but it was like each day you knew you had to go back and do it as well. After day 1 especially, in the heels, I was dead. Okay, so, and then day 2 we actually went to the hotel for food and then came back again for the after party. So that was like going back and forward, but it wasn't that bad. It was fine. It was indoors. Compared to last time, I remember queuing outside in January in the winter in London, freezing cold in my outfit, no coat, nothing, for like an hour or so. I know a lot of people queued for even longer for that debacle that was the venue last time, whereas this was lush to actually just go straight inside. You had like, the entrance had like general admission and VIPs. You had like a little snake sort of thing to queue and pre-register the first day, obviously here with a VIP, but we're not talking about the VIP right now. We're talking about the venue itself. It was big, it was spacious. In some ways that was a bad thing personally. Like I thought it was good. I thought it was better than last time. It was a more pleasant experience, let's say. Like, it wasn't as packed or claustrophobic in that sense. It definitely looked like a generic sort of convention center, massive like sort of warehouse, like not warehouse but like all the way down, like really square, perfect, like tall ceilings, that kind of thing. You had all the booths, you had like the different rows, the pink carpet in the middle, then more booths on the outside to meet the queens. Generally for the layout, I think it worked quite well because you had a lot of the winners at the front. You had Michelle Visage, the World of Wonder booth, then a few winners either side, and then other queens, and the merchy stalls in its own little section to the left, and then the main like merch stalls on the pink carpet as you go up, which had like fabulous like boas, fans, anything sort of great to like stand out, but you're not having big queues on the pink carpet to meet the queens because they were on the outside of it, which is great. You then also had the Audible booth on the right hand side towards nearer the winner, the queen, the Michelle Visage sort of section, and then at the very far end was the VIP lounge. And then next to that was the main stage, the World of Wonder, not the World of Wonder, the main stage where Rue did the DJ set. You had people could go on kind of thing. And then there's a few little food stalls dotted at that sort of back section. And because the XL is like this long building with 2 Costas, there was a Subway, there was pizza places, other places on the outside. A picture from top down, you've got like the full drag race, DragCon here, and then like the walkway here, so you have to walk the full length again. In there was like loads of food places, and halfway through here was a shutter, and so you could leave the convention to go get food, which was great. I basically may as well just talk about the food now in that sense, because it was decent knowing that you could leave and then come back and there was toilets with the food bits, that sort of thing. But we'll talk about the VIP lounge separately from that. So in terms of the place, I liked that it was bigger and more spacious. I think some people thought it almost lacked personality. There wasn't as many like photo opportunities. The last time had like the workroom entrance backdrop and like other backdrops and stuff. There was basically RuPaul stood there like for season 15 promo QR code. There was the Audible place, which was great. They had like the funny big wigs to, and they were playing like not music, like people talking into that. Few little other sort of bits and bobs, but nothing really. And then even in the VIP lounge, there was like one place to take pictures. So overall, in that sense, there wasn't as many photo opportunities, and it did feel a bit more lacking personality. I will also say regarding the main stage, you've got like the music playing all day. You've got queens performing, doing their thing, people going up on stage, Ru doing the DJ set, there's music playing. It's loud. The further you get up, the darker it gets, because it's kind of like just an event, like a nighttime performance-y sort of stuff. Then the lights are down most of the time with like strobe lights and stuff, and music playing. So for me, the closer you got to that, it was less enjoyable because you're trying to talk to people. My voice already died most of the time, all 3 days. So it was like a struggle. Like if you were wanting to do a little video, like I was worried for my vlog that there might be copyright for the music. And then I felt really bad for some of the queens' booths. Like we're talking Vivian Vanderpuss, Rock'em Sockera, even Heidi, like up the north sort of side of the area, was like you could hear the music blasting. Not blasting, but it was a bit like trying to have like a private meet and greet with queens and do like a little video or a picture. And you've got that going on. And imagine if you were there all day. Like once I left that area, I was like, this is great, cool, see ya. That's their booth for 3 days. They've paid however much to have that booth, and then they've got sort of situated there. I was like, that's not good, that's not fun. So basically what I'm saying is, last time there was the main stage and it just didn't feel as loud or whatever next to the booths, whereas this was like, yes, basically everything was in the one convention center. There was no shoots off to anything else except from the toilets. So they couldn't really have done much different, but maybe just like cut off a few of the booths at the top and move things down if they could. I don't know. Not the best situation to have that full area at the end. A bit too loud. Personally, not good. Which is why when it came to the Audible panels, this was the panels which I thought you would go to a separate area, queue and sit down. No, this was basically like a sort of right angle situation like this, where the queens would sit on a sofa and you could sit, but most people had already got the seats, so we stood for day 3 when we watched the Jada and Evie panel. I was worried that this would be a bit too out in the open, people just wandering past, stopping for a minute, listening and then walking away. You got the music up top. This was down at the bottom right hand side, but you could still sort of hear music. There was a lot going on. It wasn't quite closed in and private to like just listen to the Audible panel. It was fine when I was watching it, but for the 2 days prior I thought, is this going to be a bit rubbish watching the panel while you can hear like everything else going on? But for that, I get why they put it at the back, but like at the front, as far away from the stage as possible. But it still could have been better for that as well. Something which Danny Beard said on the All Winners performance on the Saturday was like, if Adele could stop at the Brits, I'm stopping at this shithole convention centre. There's no aircon, which, hey, we're in the UK, we're not really used to having, but temperature wise I was okay. I was cold actually at points. I was hot and then cold, and I was like, ooh, because obviously depending on what you're wearing and if you're moving around much, or if you're standing in like a queue to meet a queen for an hour, then yeah, you're going to get a bit chilly. But the queens are obviously stuffy and sweating and stuff, and no chairs. Apparently there was no chairs, which I knew because people were sitting outside, like on the outsides, eating the food and stuff, which was just like last time. Like if you haven't got the VIP, but that is its whole discussion in a second, so you know, either way you might have just sat on the floor. So in general I feel like the centre, I don't know, there's one thing that I was missing from last time as well, which was the upstairs. It was 2 layers last time, and I think LA is always 1 layer anyway, like 1 floor, so it kind of felt like a bigger, widespread, fabulous event on 1 floor, which was great. But I missed from last time, being stood upstairs to watch everything that's going on down there, like do a little time lapse or like little pictures, and it was just great to like see all that stuff from a higher viewpoint. So having experienced that in the past and then had it taken away kind of was a bit of a shame for me. The Queen's Walk as well on the pink carpet on day one, that was brilliant. I knew that I was upstairs last time, so I thought, which obviously you would have got a good view. I wanted to be in and amongst it, but then everyone started queuing quite early. I literally finished meeting Veronica Green, then Crystal at 10 o'clock, and people were coming in the general admission tickets. So I was like, we need to go. So I didn't get to the front, so I don't know if I'm in any of the pictures or that sort of stuff, but I'm like near the back at the right hand side with me little video, like filming some of the queens, and the pink carpet was great. Like obviously it was great to see them so up close. Literally everyone came down. I think maybe Valentina didn't, and one more queen, but that might have been it. Like everyone was there, even queens I didn't get to meet. Obviously seeing queens like Diabetti, Lady Camden come past and just interacting with people, taking quick selfies, like it was really great to see all that. And I was living, like I got emotional when I saw Raja O'Hara, because she was my winner for All Stars 6, and I'm so happy for her after Canada vs the World, and just seeing like all the winners come down. Crystal looked fucking incredible. Lawrence was there, Danny was there, like they all looked great. It was fabulous. I was like on the vlog and on my videos, it's like, yes Jada, yes Jada, yes Heidi, yes Rock'em Sakura, yes Lemon. Like I literally was like probably annoying everyone around me, screaming at the top of my lungs, because I don't talk, I don't shout loud, I don't project much outside. Like I have quite a softly spoken voice. If you watch the vlog, you'll see me versus Raja talking, me and Lemon, me and Heidi. Like I'm just quite soft. But yeah, I was just like, yes Jada, yes. Oh my god, I must have sounded like press or something, fucking hell. But it was great to get to see the pink carpet, so I love that sort of thing. Okay, let me talk about the VIP experience, the VIP tickets. We've got the lanyard on the go. Here we go. This is going to be a big section because there is a lot to unpack. So I want to talk about the queues. I want to talk about the early access for the first hour. I want to talk about the VIP lounge as it was. So obviously you get the first hour. Should we talk about the first hour first? Yes, we will. Early access. So I always think this is great. You're paying and you're getting in at 9 o'clock instead of 10. You're in for a full hour for 3 days, which I thought was, that's 3 extra hours. That's great. It's not like it's 2 days and you're only getting 2 hours. And you get in, I had a plan. It was like, right, go Michelle Visage first, then Danny Beard, then like World of Wonder booth, see who's available, that kind of thing. So we go in. Michelle wasn't there because they were just cutting the ribbon up top. So basically it was 8:45. Rue was there with all the queens cutting the ribbon, like, yeah, everybody say love, like for the cameras, but nobody, it was the same last time. Nobody was there to see that. Nobody gets to be up there when it's all happening. So I feel like it's a bit weird just sort of to make it look good for like YouTube or whatever. I mean, hey, YouTube, shout outs. But I do get it. I get it because they need to have that footage. But then it would have been better if all the queen, like all the like VIPs got to sort of see that. See all the queens stood together, but no. So Michelle wasn't there. We queued for a bit, then I was like, let's go to the World of Wonder booth. Let's just get the merch now. Get it. Cool. I bought some stuff. It's on the merch video. So at least we benefited from the 10% off on that, which was great because I spent about £60-70. Then went into Danny Beard's queue and she was there. She was getting ready. She was like, well, just be a second. We're just getting ready. Blah, blah, last minute touches. So we were like the third, me and my friend Matthew, third and fourth people to meet her. And it was great. She was saying to both of us, like, I'm a little bit nervous, like this is my first drag con, like obviously like she just won, like people come up to her at meet and greets and crying and like telling all the like life stories of how they, which it says on the ticket, it says on the sort of Q&A on the website not to do that, not to like spill your guts out to the queens and stuff, because it's a lot for them to take and they meet so many people. So like that's not the impression you want to leave on queens, but whatever, because then that's kind of sticks with them the rest of the day and it might sort of hinder their experience. I mean, fair enough, I get it, like if they've changed your life and stuff, but don't do it to every queen. Don't do Eureka to Lady Gaga on season 9. But I also get it, so you do you, boo. Just know that they're people and queens they're all different. They've all got different personalities. They all will take what you say differently. Let's just say that. Because you could make a little joke and some would laugh it off, some would go with it and run with it and be really sassy, and some would be like, okay, and just like think you're being like, they might be a bit cold with you on it. So you know, anyway, just advice for next time for people in general. Like, we had a general plan. So obviously we met Danny. We didn't get to meet Michelle straight away. And then we were like, right, who's available? Novimpia was there. I want to meet them. Veronica Green, Crystal, that kind of thing. And it was basically like the plan almost went out the window because some of the queens weren't there. I was like, okay, Michelle, fair enough, she was up at the ribbon cutting, but then her queue was so long already. I thought, let's just meet a few queens with a smaller queue, just strategically working it out. Like, I had a plan, and then you just have to kind of go with what's happening, go with the flow during the event. Because I was like, this ain't like the full tea, this ain't the full experience, this queen isn't there, this queen's not there, this queen is here, cool. So then we had the pink carpet, like I say. After that, we ran over to Michelle's booth. I was like, do it now, meet her now, let's go, because she's quiet. And then we met Raja O'Hara. So these were two priorities for me, that I just knew the queues would be big later on, so just get it done early on day one, even if it's not during the VIP hour, which is obviously what I'm talking about. So that was fine. It was good it's always good to just sort of see the convention a bit quieter before the real like full day happens and there's like big queues and loads of people. So I like the first hour, but I did get a little bit miffed on day 2. So we knew the plan was to rush straight up to Valentina's booth, because it was like you have to pre-purchase to meet her and get a time slot. But it turns out the time slot wasn't personal to you. It was, oh, she's coming out at 1:45. That was it. So you buy merch now, and then you've already bought it, and then you can queue to meet her later on. So we were like, yeah, cool, we'll go at 9 o'clock. Nobody was there. Obviously, Valentina wasn't there, but the merch sale, the people working at her booth weren't there either. So we were talking to this lovely lady who works at the convention center. She was like, oh, it was the same yesterday, Valentina. She's obviously very big, popular. I was like, yeah. So she was like, you may as well go away and come back. So we did. We got to meet Vivian Vanderpuss and maybe one other queen, and then we saw the queue was forming again because the guy was there selling her poster. So we bought that to meet her later on. So I was a bit like, okay, that's fine. Someone's not there at the booth first thing, but it's always nice when the queens are there. I will say right now a massive shout out, because on day 2 and 3 I know for a fact that Cheryl Hole was there at 9 o'clock. Not many queens were, and if they were, fair enough, but not many queens were there both days, so I imagine she was there day 1 as well. Something I forgot to say for day 2 as well, we first got in at like 9:15. I thought, okay, we don't have to pre-register, we don't have to be there that early on day 2, let's go. And then we were sort of moved over to the left and herded in this sort of, well, not kennel, but we were herded in like the barriers where the general admission people were stood on day 1. And we were like, okay, that's weird, why can't we just go straight in? Obviously it opens at 9, but it was a bit like, okay. I knew, like, shout outs to Aaron, he was there really early, like 8 o'clock, 8:30, at the front of the queue, and we got like put in this area to open at 9 o'clock. So it was like, okay, cool, whatever. I know that he got stopped by the bag searchers straight away, and I was like, oh my god, all these people are rushing past, and it's a bit unfair on him. But luckily we didn't get bag searched either of the 3 days, any of the 3 days, which was good. And then similarly day 3 we also got put in there. I was like, well, we're gonna get there for 10:52 then, because I'm not getting up early to, like, you know, go over and wait and stuff. So we got there, and then we got in day 3. If I was annoyed on day 2, day 3, man, oh my god, this was a Sunday. This was like Sunday last time. You'll see it on the vlog. There was no one around. There was no queens at the booths. I was like, what the fuck? So I had already met Cheryl on day 1. Cheryl was there at her booth, 9 o'clock, day 3, Sunday. It was like, okay, well, we wanted to meet Tia, we wanted to meet Jada, I wanted to meet like the season 12 queens. I was like, where is everybody? Silky, like all these sort of queens we didn't get round to doing on day 2. Not many people were there. Not many queens were there. We were like, okay, so Aaron and a couple of people started queuing for Tia Coffee at like 9 o'clock, just waiting. I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna go do this. Luckily, thank the gap, Heidi was there at her booth. Shout outs to Heidi, because she was there. Incredible. I love it. Like, I appreciate it. They know that people are paying for the VIP experience to get the hour early for then no one to be there. So Heidi made the effort. She was there. Cheryl made the effort. She was there. Incredible. So I love Heidi for that. Like, I already do anyway, but like, I really, really appreciate the queens who were there that first hour of all 3 days to actually allow us to meet in that. And plus, like, why would you not want to be there for the full experience of DragCon for the first hour when it's quiet and you can maybe have a bit of a longer chat with the VIPs to sort of say thank you for like paying that extra. I know they're not paying you, but it's just they really want to have a great time. We want to have a great time. I wanted to buy VIP for it to be the best experience. And yes, the full convention isn't going to be full. Not every queen is going to be there and have like 2 people in each queue, because, you know, that's just not how it is. But there's still hundreds of people who bought VIP tickets. There was still a lot of people, okay? There was still plenty of people there queuing thinking, what the fuck? Where is everyone? So I was kind of miffed about the whole first hour on day 3. It turns out a lot of the queens had gone out on the Saturday night. So, like, some were rocking up at whatever time, and Danny Beard came, and she was on the vlog, if you see, being like, oh, is that Tia Kofi's queue? Yep, she went out last night, da 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 da. So we were told, oh, she's going to come at 10, half 10. This is Tia Kofi. She was going to come about 10, half 10, and we were like, okay, cool, we'll meet Heidi, we'll do this. We went over to Icesis Couture's booth, pre-bought her merch, because she was going to come in about an hour as well. So I was like, okay, cool. So I went to Tia Kofi's queue, which was already starting to get a bit longer, and they said 10, half 10. So we were there about 10 past 10, standing for a long time. Just, I was chatting to this girl, I met this girl, she was really nice. I was trying to conserve my voice because it was very much dead at that point at the start of day 3. Tia came out at 11:15. This is no criticism on Tia Kofi because she is fucking incredible, and my meet and greet was one of the best I've experienced. Her booth, the TARDIS, was incredible. Everything was great. But just in terms of the VIP in the situation, she did know she was running late. She came at 11:15, and I physically met her at 12. So I queued from 10 past 10 till 12. Which Valentina's queue was long. It was 1 hour 20. But Tia Kofi was nearly 2 hours. And yeah, that's because we queued when she wasn't there, which I get, but when we were told she'd be there for 10, it is what it is. And similarly, we saw Icesis Couture enter through the main entrance about 11:30 when we were in Tia's queue. So it was like, oh, there's Icesis, so we haven't missed her, which is great. Like, she's only just arriving now. We could have just been stood in Ices's queue for nothing, but instead we were stood in Tia's queue. So regarding that, in general, with the VIP first hour, I'd still rather do it every time. The verdict for this is I'd still rather do it. You just feel like you got a bit more time, even if it's just to meet 2 more queens or get in a queue early. We did a lot more on day 1, but it is nicer to have that quiet bit. Go to the World of Wonder booth, there's not many queues. Michelle Visage, like, if you can, like, I know what I mean. Did you guys get VIP, and would you do it again? What did you feel like in the first hour? Because, yeah, I was a bit miffed at the time. I was like, what do we do? Do I just do a little vlog? Do I take some selfies? Like, what do we do when there's no queens around? Next part of the VIP was the queues. So this is very similar to last time, where I think some were doing the VIP lines and the regular lines. Most weren't, and most were confused. We were all confused. They were confused. Peppermint was confused. We're all fucking confused, okay? Nobody knew what was going on. The convention didn't know what was going on. The people running the booths didn't know what was going on. The queens probably did know what was going on, but they didn't realize what was... They knew what was supposed to happen, but they didn't know what was going on with everything. Like, nobody understood. The people working at the convention in the pink t-shirts, we didn't know what was going on. There was so much confusion. Oh my god, the amount of stories and experience that I had with this the whole time. So the point is, you're supposed to pay to have the VIP, and you have one line for VIP and regular. And I would say it goes VIP, regular, and it kind of, you've got like 10 in the VIP queue and 30 in the regular. So yeah, it's going to take a lot less time for the VIP queue to go down. It's generally how it should be. Queens that I will shout out right now who did that, and I really appreciate, I wrote them down, was Jimbo, sort of. Jada definitely did. Tia definitely did. I feel like it might have been the winners or the queens with the long queues, because Tia had that, which was incredible. Otherwise we would have waited so much longer to meet her. Oh my god. Jada, we were in and out, it was great. Didn't get a chance to meet Evie. Trinity, we didn't look. Lawrence and Viv's queue were just so long. I don't know if they had the VIP sort of situation, but you would hope they would, because, you know, it's proper. Jimbo, okay, the story with Jimbo is her queue was long. It sort of zigzagged. It was like kind of like Tia's regular queue. So I was like, I spoke to the guy. I was like, oh, if I buy merch, can like, what's the deal? Do I have to buy merch and then move to the back of this queue? And he was like, no, just go straight ahead. So I was like, okay, work, this is how it's meant to be. I bought the fan, went up, they were like, yep, you're next. I was like, thanks. My friend Matthew didn't meet Jimbo, but he was stood behind me in the queue and saw some people's reactions. Someone was like, like, what? Kind of like, why? What's he doing? Why does he get to come through? And I'm like, did you not know? Did you not read the tickets? This is why we have the VIP. You are supposed to be able to buy the merch and have a separate queue. And since there was technically no one in that VIP queue, I was just like, zoop. So he nearly like turned around to them being like, mm-hmm. So I was like, don't worry, I'll put it in the Storytime video. We need to talk about it because if people are going to have an attitude about it, yes, most of the convention wasn't doing it. They weren't doing it correct. So that kind of made people have a false sense of, well, this is how it should be. Why are you skipping? No, this is how it should be. This is how it should have been the whole fucking thing where you have the two queues. Okay? So luckily I didn't see that that was all going on. Otherwise I might have lost it. Or I might have at least told a person how it really is. Okay? What I will say with that, since I sort of skipped over a little bit, is the general consensus of the queues was you queue in here and you buy merch, and then you move to the back of this next queue and then you go and meet them. Whereas it should have been two queues for VIP and regular. So that was a whole shit show and I was very pissed off. The people running the booths kind of just were like, yep, buy a ticket, then you move to the back. So when we went to River Medway's queue, I was like, I stood in the left because I was like, well, I'm VIP, I'm going to go straight here because there was a queue there and they all were wearing like Saturday, Friday, general admission, whatever. And I was like, people, like, the person in charge, like, looked over and I was like, am I right to buy merch? And they're like, yeah, but you got to go here. I was like, well, what do you mean? Like, is this the VIP queue? And so River literally got involved. River Medway was like, no, there should be a VIP queue and a regular queue. These are all right to get the merch. And the person in charge, the queen in charge of the booth was just like, I don't mean Sophia Stardust, by the way, because she's incredible. There was another queen stood there and I was just like, yeah, like, how do you not know that this is what's supposed to happen? River Medway was clearly trying to clear it up, being like, yes, that's fine, there should be two queues, VIP, regular. So thank you, River Medway, for that at least, because I applaud you on that, and I physically witnessed you trying to sort of solve it. But that made me think maybe she didn't know what was going on, that she didn't know that people weren't doing that with the queues, because obviously you're just sat in the booth, people come up. How would you know what's going on with the queues? People are literally so confused as to how these queues were meant to be. But the point is, it really should have been VIP regular, not buy merch, then meet. Because Vanity Milan, it was the same. We queued for ages to get the merch and then move up to the next queue to actually move up. And she apologized for the wait. And I was like, you know, they didn't have the VIP line, so... Some queues it was fine, you just jump in, it's like a few people, whatever. Tea or coffee, I'm really grateful that it was, because it was literally, we got through so much quicker. They got like 4 or 5 of us through, then it was like 2 regular, then another 4 or 5 of us, then 2. So I really appreciate that. Whew, got a little bit heated, but you know. One thing I will say about Tea or Coffee's queue specifically, which really pissed me off, because people at the convention, this was day 3, by then people were like generally okay with everything. Like, you wouldn't like skip queues, you wouldn't like be bullshit to other people who are there. We've all have the same experience, and it's only fair that we all are like considerate of each other. But there was a lady who was working for the center, and she was trying to keep the queues out of like the aisles and stuff, like make it so it's safe. So she kind of tried to curve us around the side, which was great. So it was basically facing the booth, and then instead of it going that way, we like curved around. So she was like, yep, everyone move around, da, 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 da. So the about 3 or 4 people behind us didn't do the curve. They stayed where they were, and when the curve moved around, they jumped in front to where the curve started, and they knew what they were doing. And I was so pissed. So already I was kind of like, we're in this queue for an hour and a half to meet Tea or Coffee. These 3 people in front of us had skipped the queue for the VIP. I was like, you've already got VIP. Move your ass behind us when we curved the queue. Because we all just sort of like, and they just stood. And then when it moved up a bit, they moved in front. I was like, oh my God, I'm so pissed off. Like, me and my friend Matthew, especially because one of the ladies was later on like, basically some people would come up and be like, oh, is this the regular queue, the VIP? As if the curve was the back. We're like, no, it curves around, that's the back. And they were like, oh, no problem, cool, cool, cool. My friend Matthew was literally stood next to me. And so the three people on the curve who jumped, there was a lady at the back of the three. She was like one of the three who jumped the queue. My friend Matthew literally was stood next to me, and he moved an inch. And she was like, "Oh, are you here for the VIP? It curves at the back." He was like, so not impressed. He would have kicked off. Like I would have been like, no. He had been there the whole time for like 45 minutes or however long. It's like, how have you not noticed? You already jumped in front of us in the queue, trying to be like, oh no, move to the back. This isn't the queue. This was our spot in the queue. What is the matter with you? And it also really pissed me off because she left the queue, did whatever, then came back. And that's fine. I get it. People do it. But she didn't know my friend was there in the queue because she never was at the fucking queue long enough to sort of experience who was there in the queue. It's like, oh, you new to the queue? You're not new. I'll go to the back. So the guy, he really pissed me off. And these two ladies, I was like, oh, etiquette, queuing etiquette, the whole convention. Like, I get it's a scary world out there, you gotta look after yourself, but that was bullshit and rude, and I really didn't appreciate it. So I had to put it in this video because I'm gonna tell my story and my truth of what I experienced. And those three people in Tia Coffee's queue, when it curved around, bullshit. So I pretty much accepted for the most part that it was like, buy merch, move over. I was like, well, this is annoying. I'm gonna speak about it in the Storytime video, but I also appreciated the times when I could get the VIP queue, okay? So I would still, on that front, I would still get it. I know people were like, what is the point? I feel so bad for the VIPs. You're not benefiting, this is it. And I get it. But if you speak up about it when it's happening, I'll be like, well, are we able to, like the Jimbo one, I was so shocked that I was able to skip past like 30 people. Otherwise, I wouldn't have met her. I'd have been like, oh yeah, you bought the merch, go to the back. I'll be like, no, I'm not going to buy anything. I'm not bothered, sorry. Literally wouldn't have spent the time queuing. Last thing to say about the VIP experience is the VIP lounge. In short, trash, awful, really bad, worse than last time. And do you remember how last time everyone was criticising how bad the VIP lounge was? Yeah, that was spacious in comparison to this. This was rubbish. This was, right, I had so many issues with this VIP lounge. It was at the back. I mean, yeah, fine, it was cool, not cool, but they were trying to have like a cute little Glastonbury festival thing. Like, they'll have some benches that had like little flowers and little things and one backdrop to take selfies with bad lighting. It was smaller than last time. We had to sit on the floor, which is whatever, like, there wasn't, you know, the main issue that I had is it was right next to the main stage, so it was dark. There was no lights. It was kind of like a little bit strobe light hit you every now and then. Music blasting, like full on, like peanut. Yeah, I'm trying to eat my peanut butter fucking sandwich, not listen to peanut butter fucking jelly, click clack, sissy that walk. Oh my god, in the VIP lounge, like, it's supposed to be an experience. It's supposed to be a bit like lavish, a bit plush, a bit cute, a bit like spacious and nice and a good experience. It was none of that. It was not a nice experience. I can't eat in such raucous entertainment situation. I like to be sitting down. Like, yeah, fair enough, we could sit on the floor, but I would like to actually sit. I'd like to eat in light and like look through your pictures or have a cute chat. Couldn't talk. It was too fucking loud. It was loud. It was really loud. It was absolutely ridiculous. It wasn't very big. It wasn't very big at all. It was absolutely ridiculous. So they had like a little fridge with some sandwiches, wraps, cans of Coke, and then some crisps and cakes. That was fine. Buy that. Cool. At least you knew there was some way you could get like a quick lunch instead of queuing for like a pizza or Subway or something. First time though, we sat on the floor. It was quite packed. There was not really anywhere to sit, so we sat next to the counter, where I didn't realise behind us was a little table with like sugar on for the coffees and stuff. So everyone kept having to walk around to the back of us to get to it. That 15 minutes in, when I'm still eating, the people were like, could you move? Like, three of us, it was me, Matthew and Aaron, were sat there, and they were like, oh, could you move? Like, I was like, well, when we first sat down, there was no corner for us to sit in, so luckily these people had left, so we moved over there. But I was like, you moved me mid-eating, which is supposed to be like a sort of comfortable, safe place for this VIP lounge. But then I get it, we sat in the wrong place, but there was nowhere else to sit. I was miffed. I was like, well, this is just great. So that come day 2, we went there to buy a sandwich and we left. We sat on behind the sort of merch stalls of the creators, the talent people, whatever you call them, the independent stalls kind of thing, next to the toilet. So we just sort of sat on the floor, ate our lunch, away from the music. It was light. It wasn't near the main stage. The VIP lounge was just a disaster, catastrophe. Like, how could they even... No. The design of this venue, why would you have put that next to the main stage where you'd be like, oh yeah, it'll be a cute little party? Like, okay, maybe it's clicking with me now. Maybe it was meant to be, yes, like a festival. You go in there and it's part of the festival. You can hear the music. It's not what I would have liked. Last time it was great. It was all set up like Vegas Review. They had Prosecco at the thing to buy. There was like seats, cushions. There was different places to take cute little pictures. They had one little shitty little ring light with this like backdrop, which was fair enough, but the pictures looked bad because it was dark anyway with a bit of ring light. Like, the VIP lounge, no, step the fucking pussy up next time if you're going to do it, because I will get VIP. I still like a little private place to go. Yeah, I sat on the bench day 3, which was lucky, but whatever. Yeah, because no fucker probably wanted to go to the lounge because it was shit. It wasn't a lounge, it was a fucking park bench. Park bench with a loud bit of music and a bit of darkness. Not really the tea. Not for me, not good. Absolute shit show. So in terms of the VIP, the queues, bit of a shit show. The lounge, bit of a shit show. The early access, bit of a shit show. So yes and no, it sounds really bad, but I would still do it because I just have to. Like, that extra hour really benefits. The times when you do get benefited from it, but I get the price. But if you're gonna travel down there and buy the tickets and go anyway, you're only gonna spend a little bit extra on VIP. I would still recommend it, but it's not the be all and end all. It's this experience for the VIP. I didn't hate it that much, but how I felt at the time and how I'm feeling now, yeah, I get it. I get why people would be really annoyed. Like, absolute shit show. Step the VIP lounge up. The queues, let the booths know. The Queen should know. The people in charge of the booths should know. The people at the convention centre just have it signed. VIP queue, general admission. Have it on your booth at the top or something, or on the table. It's not that hard. It's not all of these queens' first time doing this. Surely people know what you should be doing. Okay? In the first hour, I get it. Not everyone can be their first thing, but don't all rock up. They all rocked up basically at 12 o'clock on Sunday. 12 o'clock. Like, okay. That was a long sort of tangent regarding the VIP. It really was. And yeah, we're going to move on from that. And next I want to talk about the after show really quickly, because we didn't go on the Friday, but we did go the Saturday, which was the all winners show, which was great. We turned up like 10 minutes late because we were like, oh, we need to go get food, get ready, come back, whatever. I did find my feet were sore, so standing there for like a good 2 hours was a bit like, oh, but whatever. We did it. It was cute. But what I did hear and see on TikTok was like this stampede video, and I was like, oh my god, this girl's getting dragged. Like, that's insane. Like, I think they needed to do something more with security. Something needed to be done properly with that, because Aaron was there. He said that it was a shit show and that people snuck around the side to get further up to the front of the stage. Like, no, like, don't allow that to happen. Like, people running in the convention, like, bit of a shit show. If anyone was there, let me know your experience with that. Like, that is not good. But I was a bit like, okay, we just stood at the back, whatever. I nearly went to get a drink, but the show was about to start. They also had the VIP viewing platform and then the disabled sort of access viewing platform. So we hadn't really been to the viewing platform at all. So I was like, okay, let's go. Went around the side and I was like, oh, can we get up? And he was like, it's at capacity. The guy was like, it's at capacity. I was like, it's like maximum 40 people. I was like, they were all like against the rail and there was definitely enough space to fit like another 100 people in there. I was like, what the fuck? He was like, only if someone leaves can you come in. I've already done one favor tonight. I was like, what do you mean? What are you trying to, what's with the attitude? Like, I'm not anybody special, but I paid £324 for my VIP. Why can't I get onto this viewing platform? He's like stood there like barrier, like blocked. What? I just... I was like, okay, cool. I was like, no bother, don't come at me with an attitude. I'm fine, cool. Didn't realise the situation. I'ma go stand over here closer to the stage. Cool. But how is that a viewing platform? It was absolute bullshit. So once again with the VIP thing, I was like, okay, like, are you sure? Didn't realise. No, but then there was like people queuing to get on the platform. It's like, yeah, the queues were on there. I was like, so you're queuing on the off chance that someone leaves so that you can get it, like, toodaloo. Like, I'm not doing that. Like, no. Don't get me wrong. I know I said I turned up 10 minutes late. That's fine. Whatever. It's on me. But that was a bit shit. It was a bit of a shit show. The show in general, incredible. Seeing all these winners perform, like Giselle. Oh my god, like Raja D. O'Hara did like a rap sort of song. Jada, like, I'm not being funny. The highlights were the UK. The Queens came to play for the UK. Blue, Crystal Versace with her hair whipping, incredible. Her hairography. And Danny Beard was funny, hilarious. Then they did like a couple of dancey songs like Break My Soul, Beyonce, different ones to end the show on a high. There's clips from that, from Danny's sort of stand-up routine on vlog part 2. Blue, I will have to say, loved the whole Dr. Evil thing, mentioning Pangina and stuff. Like, that was really good. I heard people sort of kicking off not kicking off, but like criticizing on day 3 that, oh yeah, she did like the same performance Friday and Saturday. That's a bit shit. Why did she do that? I'm like, it was a really good performance. That she's already got a lot to do, a lot to bring to this convention. That you like, maybe she didn't like know she was going to be performing twice. It was like all winners on the Saturday, so whatever was the theme of Friday, like she obviously got lumbered into both, which is fine. But also seeing a drag performance is like, whoa, that's so cool. I want to see it again. Let's do it. So to actually get to see it twice if you went on both nights, don't know what you're complaining about, to be fair. So I would like to give Blue less of a hard time for that, because like, what you're going to do then, she had 2 outfits for that full performance. So like, I don't really know what the issue is. Plus she brought out a water gun, so it kind of felt like a pantomime. No, it was great, and I get why people would be like, ugh, it's a cop-out, you're doing it twice. Like, no. She probably had a shit ton of things to bring, and then also perform, like, have that routine prepared, so no. Another thing I want to say, on day 0, which was the Thursday night, we went to sort of scope out the venue, the XL, and as we left our hotel, which there was another, like, oak tree, something or other hotel next to us, right near, so we walked past, there's Bag of Chips just walking out of drag. She's got one of those, like, wig head foam things carrying, and we were like, hey, hi. She's like, hi, I loves. Like, I was like, oh my god, I wonder if she recognizes us. Probably not, but we have met her 3 times, and that was just like, oh my god, this is so cool, this is so real. Next, at the entrance to the XL, there comes Jada with someone like carrying her wig thing as well. She's like walking, and I'm like, oh my god, it's Jada. We didn't say hi, but I was like, oh, she wants to get back to the hotel. She's all ready. She doesn't want to like do little meet and greets like before the convention, you know what I mean, which I totally respect. So we had a little walk through. It was really cool seeing that sort of thing. I think Matthew saw like one of the Spanish queens. I'm not too sure because I've not seen the series, but that sort of thing was pretty cool. General highlights, like, I'm trying to think of any other stories, like general highlights for the queens, for meeting them. First of all, my all winners fan, like I showed on the merch haul, I got like all the different winners who I got to meet to sign it, like Blue, Danny, Jada, Crystal, Giselle, that sort of thing. And Giselle Lullaby and Rita Baga had their booth together, so I was just like, what am I gonna do? I'm like, is it gonna be shady? So I was like, hi Rita, it's so nice to meet you. Giselle, oh my gosh, like congratulations on winning, blah blah. I was like, I'm really sorry Rita, Giselle, getting all the winners to sign this fan, sorry Rita. And she was like, oh no, it's fine. Giselle was like, oh, that's so shady. I was like, oh, I know, I'm sorry. But I really thought Rita was gonna like not have a problem with her, but just be like, oh, that's shady. But she was like, oh no, I get it. I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, so awkward. So I was like, cha-ching, Giselle's signature. Oh my god. I mean, I'm absolutely loving my meet and greet pictures. Go check some out on Instagram. I haven't uploaded them all yet, but highlight queens for me. I mean, Heidi, it was fucking incredible to finally meet her after all these years. Like, Michelle Visage, always incredible to see her. She had the judges panel thing. She had like the glass panel in between, because I know she was wearing a mask at one point before the convention, so it was actually good. She's obviously trying to remain safe, I get it. So I was like sat there like, yeah, I'm the new Rue, and what? I'm like the new head judge. We got Brooklyn, we got Nikki, we've got possibly Rita, we've got all the queens. I'ma do it. I'll be the new, you know what I mean? I was like, this is cute. Danny Beard was fun. It was like a barbershop, that kind of thing. Lemon, she had a whole fucking lemon crew. The lemon drops, they were incredible, all dressed in yellow, like doing the merch, like walking around, like, oh, they were so cool. Seriously, you go around and it's like this yellow booth. Like, we did a little like BFF necklace, VIP guest list kind of thing. It's on the vlog. Ginny Lemon, incredible. She had this whole, like, it was like everything must go merch, like, booth. And then a bargain sort of lucky dip bin for £10. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. That whole clip is on the vlog part 1. And I won my little bowls. Cute. Valentina, obviously the only season 9 queen who I met there, and Trinity was already there. I'd already met her, but I was so nervous. I was like, my picture, I'm so happy with my Valentina pictures. When am I ever going to meet Valentina in my life now? Like, after that experience, I had to do it in queue for 1 hour 20, and it was just everything. The queue was, like, oh my god, the queue was fabulous. Like, we got there at 1:15, knowing that she was there at 1:45. If we'd rocked up at 1:45, the queue would have been even, like, was so long behind us. I was like, oh my god, we waited like an hour and 20. And then she was right next to Scarlett Bobo. And they'd put like a little rack of t-shirts. It was like flash sale, Valentina fans, Scarlett Bobo merch here, £10, blah, 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 or whatever it was. It was like, that's kind of funny. That's like a really cool, like, experience of, like, let's just take advantage of this queue situation. Rock'em Soccer was another fucking incredible queen to meet. She chatted for so long. We chatted about, like, lockdown, her ball look on season 12, like the fact that she was going to go on tour. Well, she did the Erica Clash Jimbo Rock'em Soccer tour, but they didn't come to Newcastle last minute. I was like, oh my god, I was supposed to be at that thing. She picked me up and spun me around. Go check out vlog part 3. Oh, we just took so many pictures. We had such a great time, like, chatting to her. Like, she was one of the most chattiest, incrediblest, fun, just complimentary. Like, she looked great. She just wanted to have a genuine chat at a meet and greet. Rock'em Sakura, incredible. And that one queen that we must talk about, one of the best experiences. I've mentioned her a lot in this video already for her queue and everything in the booth, but Tia Kofi. I think I need to do like a whole video separate from like this on its own kind of thing, but her TARDIS booth was absolutely incredible. Day 1 she was dressed like the 10th Doctor. Day 2 I think it was the 4th Doctor with the scarf and everything. Fucking incredible. She came out on day 3 as like a silver Dalek. I was like, oh, it's like a cyber woman, but then she looks like a Dalek. I was like, okay, it's cute. She had the white, the OG TARDIS vibe with the white like circles and everything. It's on vlog part 3, but I might put a little clip here. Like,
let's talk about that. Let's talk about that YouTube video you got up. You called me a basic bitch. Let's talk about that.
Getting to meet her, and she was like looking at me in the queue, like thinking, like, is that you? Like, I was like, you were looking at me, and she was like, before I even said hi and hugged her, she was like, let's have a lengthy discussion about how much you hated me on my season. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about every YouTube video that you ever uploaded me calling me a basic bitch. Give me a hug. And I was like, oh my god, she's joking, but she's like hilarious. Like, she and Pixie Polite watched my videos in on season 2, and every runway I was like, meh. Like, I cried when she sent Estina Mandela home, and I was like, oh my god, I was like shaking. I was like, what? Oh my god. I was like, she was like, do you think I'm still basic? Do you think I should still go home now? I was like, no. Oh my god, you stepped all the looks up with this. This is incredible. The whole booth. And then we chatted a bit about Doctor Who. I was just gagged. We took some cute pictures. Like, I was just gagged that she was like, you're not doing the reactions anymore, are you? And I was like, well, I'm kind of on a break because there's so many series. Like, I want to, but it's a lot of work. And she was like, yeah, I get it. I'm like, oh my god, the fact that she watched it. She said she never disliked the videos, which I appreciate. She watched the videos and then knows that I'm currently not uploading them as well. I'm just like, let's just gag. Like, Tia Kofi has become, she's so fucking incredible anyway. I've seen her on Gogglebox. I've seen her on The Weakest Link. She's such personality. I even loved her on the show, just not her looks. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she was great in the confessionals. I really warmed up to her, but like, she's actually one of my favorites at this point. Like, the whole Doctor Who thing, the whole reaction thing, like, Tia Kofi is just fucking incredible. I love that. That's the highlight meet and greet for the whole thing. Like, I just can't believe. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna get killed here. She's not really, but I was like, oh god, she hates me. So then she was like, you gotta go see Pixie Polite, because like we used to watch you and we'd be like hating on you, and not really like hating, but she was just like, oh, I'm gonna get that bitch. So I was like, hi Pixie. She was like, oh my god, like, recognize. I was like, do you recognize me from YouTube? I was like, we did a little video like, I don't hate you, Tia. We don't hate, because obviously they split up, so it's like, oh, we both wronged Tia Kofi. Oh my god. One of the best fucking moments. Like, I love it. Like, it's stuff like that that really sticks with you, and it's just, I fucking loved it. I just, no words. Just a couple of little closing points that I want to say as well. First of all, another story actually, Icesis Couture. Oh my god, right? She's incredible, fierce, Canada 2 winner, whatever. We bought the merch prior, and then we came back to her queue straight after Tia Coffee, so 12 o'clock. She was there in with her sisters, Kimmy Couture and Michaela Couture, and it was great to sort of see them as well. But we were in the VIP lounge. We've already bought merch. VIP queue. We'd already bought merch, and then there was another queue, and it was like, which I really appreciate. Once again, another winner who had like the separation with the two different queues. Well done. And up in the booth further in, we were like, "Hey, there's Isis." She's like saying hi, taking a quick selfie with someone. Then they go up, and then another one. And I was like, they came up and like Isis were like, I'm really tired, I'm exhausted, I have to just end now, so I'm going to say a quick hi and get a picture with all of yous. Regular people, you don't have to buy any merch, we're just going to say hi, I've just got to go, kind of thing. I was like, oh, that's so sad. But like, so we got like our picture in the line, which I was like, oh, but I still got her to sign my fan, everything. She was really accommodating, she was really lovely, but it was obviously day 3, 12 o'clock, even though she kind of just turned up at 11:30. I'm not too sure what that was about. But yeah, so then they still let us go inside and meet Michaela and Kimmy separately and do like that sort of picture there. It was kind of, it's just like one of those experiences where I'm like, okay, that happened. Like, she came into the queue to do the meet and greet, which is just gag. But anyway, I will say it's a little bit shady from my side. I saw her 3 hours later in full drag. I was like, did she get out a drag and re-back in, or did she just bullshit and leave and was like done, kind of thing? I was like, was anybody there in that queue when that whole thing happened? Like, I'm really curious. But I don't know. We never know what's going on with people. Okay, so if she gonna have to pause a line or do that, she could have just closed it and vamoosed, but she came out and closed her full section, and then everyone in there got to meet her. So I applaud her for that, at least. I want to give a bit of a shout out to Novimpia, because it was great to meet them again. And I was such a boob. I was like, oh my god, Nova, it's so nice to meet you. I meant so nice to see you again, because I met them last time, but whatever, oops. But I watched their vlog. I was like briefly in it on the corner, like near the start on day 1, on the pink carpet. I don't think I was really in it for the rest of it, but I watched Juna Birch's vlogs, all 3 parts or 2 parts, I think it's 3. My friend Matthew was in the queue on day 2 for that. I didn't feature anywhere in the background of that, which is fair enough. But if anyone has any pictures, videos, like if I'm in the background, if it's cute, like I just love that sort of thing. I've been watching everyone's vlogs. I want to see the pink carpet, proper walkthrough if they're going to upload that sort of thing. So yeah, I don't know, I just love that sort of thing. And if you want to say you, for you, Jackie Cox, in the background of any of them, you might be in the vlog, because I did a little time lapse, I did a bit of the pink carpet, this, that and the other, so you might be there. I also want to give a massive shout out and thank you to Matthew, my friend, bestie, travel companion, DragCon companion, photographer, videographer, emotional support, bodyguard, everything. Just seriously, for putting up with me, for helping me with all the pictures and videos. Like, all of this doesn't just happen by myself, at least when we're out and about doing traveling, DragCon, that kind of thing, like the vlog, all the amazing footage, most of the amazing footage, like just being there helping carry bags. Like obviously day 1 with the fringe, my heels were already, my feet were killing, and then like the fringe, taking my bag off, it was just constantly getting stuck, just all that sort of stuff. Like, he knows, he's incredible, and I just needed to give a massive shout out to that, because this doesn't all just happen. It takes a village, people, and then another village, then a town, then a city, and then we might be there to like deal with me, but we're all good. So I'm literally like, yeah, absolutely grateful. And at the same time, I took pictures and videos for him and like helped carry stuff. It's not like, oh, I did nothing, but at the same time, he would have done 80% and I would have done 20%. So that's about it. Yeah. So it's just a massive thank you. Even just like traveling on the train, like someone to talk to, like just everything, like have a cute little time instead of going on my own. Like I know what it's like. I just don't like traveling on my own kind of thing. So it's just great that we got to do this together and experience it together, and we will go again. Like I don't actually know if I'm going to go 2024 just for money reasons. I think it would be really fun to go like every 2 years. Like for me personally, I'm thinking like I might go 2025 if this, obviously they should still do it. It also just depends on the cast. Like obviously meeting you guys was incredible and I'd love to go, but I think I'd already have to start saving now for next time already, and I'm just like, I feel like it would be more fun to look forward to every 2 years. That's my general take from this as well. It's like obviously we had the lockdown breaks and everything, so 2020 to 2023 was a good time, 3 years. So I was definitely ready, but I don't think I'm ready already to think about outfits and traveling and all that stuff by next January, you know what I mean? So 2 years would be brilliant. But a massive thank you to Matthew for being the bestest bestie. He gets like one of them drag race, like the besties award or the zesties lemon, the desties, I don't know, like season 7, like one of those like, and the winner of this is this queen and someone who's not funny and you know fucking the Miss Fame. Anyway, 2 more things I want to say. Oh my gosh, first of all, the whole experience of like booking tickets and going down and stuff is fine, but it was a bit stressful. I just need to talk about the trains really quickly. Okay, I want to say a massive thank you and shout out to Lumo, because they weren't on strike. They got us down there. I went down on the 5th of January. I know the striking days were the 3rd, 4th, 6th, and maybe the day after. That whole thing must have been a stress for a lot of people. I know that. Separate note, I know that Jinx and the Seattle Queens didn't have much or any drag, and so Jinx had to do the pink carpet with no drag. The whole thing, like, these things happen, but my god, the strikes. This isn't a video about the strikes, but it is what it is. I totally appreciate why it's happening. It's just a lot of stress for me, especially when the Trainline app out of nowhere says my ticket is, the train's cancelled. So then I try to ring them up and they're like, it's £3 something a minute to ring and blah blah. I was like, no. So I just did Christmas, got over it. I was like, I'm not going to think about it. Then I looked at the app again. It was like, oh yeah, everything's fine, like on. Like you could still buy tickets for that train that I was getting. I was like, that's so weird. What the fuck? Like, Trainline are trash, because I've heard from multiple people that they cancel it on the app to make you worry and have to rebuy the ticket, because the ticket I bought was like, say, £30 down to London single. They're like, oh yeah, it's going to be £70 now. Like, try and hike the price up because all the other days are cancelled and striking. It's like, that's a bit bullshit, okay? Not into that. So everything was fine. The trains were packed. There was no like toilet section for one bit. They had to put luggage in there. It was like a total shit show. But like, I just wanted to say thank you so much. Even the people working on the train, I kind of wanted to go up to them and say thank you. Thank you for getting me to DragCon. I need to get there. The stress. So that whole thing, it's like, I don't even want to book anything at the moment for that. But it all happened and it all worked just fine. But running up to that was stressful. Final thing I want to say is a massive shout out to you guys. Seriously, I know I've talked a lot, and as usual, if you've made it to the end, I really appreciate it, seriously. And if you haven't seen the merch haul, that video's there. Vlog part 1, 2 and 3. It's just fabulous. It's just so nice, like, looking back and thinking back to all this, everything from DragCon UK 2023. But a massive shout out to all you guys who I got to meet. People who I've chatted to on Instagram for years. People who I didn't know. Viewers running up to me, saying hi, like getting selfies, tagging me on Instagram. It was just incredible. Someone recognized me in the hotel on day 1, before, like day 0, before we even got checked in and everything. I was like, oh my god. I wasn't expecting it to happen again. Then when people kept it happening on day 1, day 2, day 3, I got to meet people who didn't know who I was. I was like, oh my god, hi, you look great, let's get a picture. Just making friends, oh my god, I'll have to put some pictures up of everyone. Like, they'll all be on Instagram, but just incredible. Like, no joke, I would list all of you. Like, I could have wrote them down and listed like literally everyone from day 1, day 2, day 3, but there was just so many. Like, I tagged them on Instagram. I'm going to put the pictures here and do their ats on Instagram, tag them, all that sort of stuff. I mean it was great to meet Lou and I, who we've chatted before, and he used to do like reactions as well on YouTube. And Matthew and Ryan, who are like big TikTokers, we met in blue hydrangeas queue. They were right in front of me, so that sort of thing was just Oh, Lady Up the Duff as well. She was incredible in drag all 3 days. Getting to chat to her, seriously. I'm just going to put all the pictures and ads up here because I can't name them all, but seriously, incredible. And just, oh, the whole thing was incredible. The pictures, the merch, meet and greet experience. I'll go away with all this experience. For better, for worse, whatever. I'd still do the VIP, but let me know all your thoughts in the comments below, seriously. And thank you all for watching, and stay safe, and I'll be back very soon for some more videos and hopefully some season 16, gosh no, season 15 finale reaction, that kind of vibe. I don't know, we'll see. Thank you for watching. Bye guys.